Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of LostinTranslationmon. This time we're covering Digimon Ghost Game Episode 1, Mouth-Sewn Man. I'm May, and I'm joined by Quinn.
Hi.
And of course, also Chloe.
Hello.
And also, obviously, myself.
I don't think you are joined by yourself, I'm sorry.
I could be joined by myself.
Look.
I mean, I am here.
We're joined by the air inside Air's heart, as well as the air inside all of our hearts.
It's okay for you to be here.
It is.
Anyhow.
Well, now that we've all aired that, so just a bit of housekeeping. I'm just trying a new format to the podcast where the synopsis part will be part of the introduction as well, just to sort of separate it from the discussion. So we'll see how that goes in this episode, and if it goes well, then we will continue. If it does not go well, we will not be continuing. So if you notice that this is a little bit different to the other podcasts that we've done, that's why, and let us know what you think. Because if it's not very enjoyable, then please let us know. Unless you want to not break my heart, because then it'll break my heart. So before we get into the discussion, this episode starts up and we have a bunch of kids talking about all these hologram ghosts that are appearing, mostly about a man with a stitch-up mouth. We also see a girl getting sort of super fast aged into an old woman by this Clockmon, and then I guess she's then hospitalized. Oh yeah, it's horrifying. I love it. And we also get our body horror there a little bit. And we find out that there's a girl called Ruri who seems to be wanting to get more information about these hologram ghosts. And we also have Hiro with a basic shonen trope anime best friend. Mm-hmm. And we have the realization that Hiro is a smart gold kid character, not a jock one. And I'm very much here for that.
Yep, it's another Atmon.
Yep, it's another Atmon, and I love that. Mm-hmm. We meet the dorm leader, who has bandages and seems to be horrified by ghosts, and we also realise that Hiro's father has gone missing. I'm getting very big Lane feels from the father, by the way. It's just, there's something going on there, and I'm very here for it. I like the dad.
He's just Grandpa from Atmon again,
yeah,
but not as that.
Yeah, he's
doesn't
like
scream as much, which is honestly a big downgrade.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm like, I just got caught up, man. When he appeared in the opening, I just got caught up, man, feels from him. But I'm very much here for it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so then Hiro and his friend go to investigate, and the friend gets super aged by the Clockmon. And then when he goes back to the dorm leader gives him a talisman, and he's definitely just horrified by everything. And then we have Hiro going through the belongings of the dad and finds the vital bracelet and a bunch of dims. He tries a bunch of them, and one of them has Gammamon appear. Also, a black tailmon appears, which is very horrifying. I guess that's the dad's partner, but it felt like a fever dream almost.
Yep.
And
really
then
did.
He meets Gammamon, who is his little brother apparently, and that is explained to us by the hologram of Hiro's dad. And then we have Hiro's phone going off, Clockmon appears, and then Clockmon and Gammamon fight. Gammamon's injured, and Hiro remembers Clockmon's time ability throws a stick which has a chestnut on it, which super ages, becomes a branch or a tree, and he's then able to power up Gammamon with his vitals, which is a thing in the vital bracelet. And we have Gammamon saying how he got power from Hiro, and that's the episode. Mm-hmm. So, discussion time. What were our highlights about this episode?
I liked quite a lot about this episode. Mm-hmm. I really liked a lot of the visuals, especially when Hiro was meeting Gammamon for the first time. The little sparklies floating in the air was pretty nice.
I was here for that.
Yeah, and the random grass that appears in the room, it's sort of like... I mean, I loved the whole atmosphere for this episode. I feel like it had a very nice vibe to it.
I was actually about to say the exact same thing.
Yeah, like all these, the grass grew, and then what was with the black tailmon in the hoodie? That's really what I want to know. That's my biggest question.
And we're probably never going to get an answer if Digimon is anything to go by.
I want to believe that this is more like Atmon. This is...
Yeah, I mean...
Here's hoping.
This is Eugene's eyes glinting in episode 1.
Yeah.
Spoilers for Atmon, sorry.
Well, it's episode 1 that happens, so that's not really a spoiler, but his eyes do glint in the first episode.
Other things do happen in the show, is all that tells you.
I suppose.
But yeah, no, it's good stuff. Dad, I guess, invented the vital bracelets or whatever. I am a little less into the product placement, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a weird, it's like a weird way of having product placement, because usually in Digimon we have the anime, and then the Digivice toys released like maybe a few weeks later when a few episodes have aired. The Vital Bracelet came out in March.
Yep.
I wonder how much
And there
of
was
that
no
can
news
just
of
be
this.
attributed to, they already had plans for this, but, the production side of things wasn't as slowed down by COVID as the animation side of things was and the storyboarding side of things was, so the...
Plus, aren't there Vital Bracelets for, like, all kinds of properties now from them?
There is one for Ultraman and Kamen Rider, but those haven't been released yet. They've only been announced. They're coming out next month or December. I can't remember.
Fair enough. Anyway, they are just very committed to the Vital Bracelet thing, and I'm not sure I'm here for
I
that
love the Vital
part.
Bracelet.
It's a Fitbit.
I just really love the Vital Bracelet. I'm very excited about the fact that in the opening, I'm not sure how much attention you paid to the opening, but Gammamon has 3 different evolutions, like as in adult levels.
Yeah, I did. I noticed a little of that. That'll be interesting. I assume that's what the those are backups thing was about.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, well, on the Vital Bracelet, you can have 2 Digimon at once. You can have one in backup and then one active. So I'm not sure how much that has to tie into it.
Yeah, that definitely makes the kind of evil looking thing that showed up when Gammamon was being time eaten or whatever more interesting.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to like see how the Vital Bracelet plays into this series because I mean I'm a huge fan of the Vital Bracelet. I really like that it's like a fitness based virtual pet. I'm a huge fan of that. I like how you don't have to buy multiple of the Vital Bracelet. You buy the dim cards which have like the Digimon on them, so you can just sort of buy the dim cards that have the Digimon that you want. I just think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, although please stop making those try to be one use only.
Oh, they did. So
Good.
a new Vital Bracelet came out yesterday, which is it looks the same as the Vital Bracelet the hero has in this show, so it's like a blue one, and they actually work on 3 of them now. But there is a way to reset them, which I lost my first Vital Bracelet a few months ago, so I bought a second one, and you can actually clear the lock on them by going into debug mode and clearing it out. So it is possible to clear them out.
That's good, but that's still crap.
Yeah. Well, at least they sort of fixed it for the second version of the Vital Bracelet, which, as I said, it came out yesterday, which is more of product placement tie-in because it's for the anime. Like, it's like a blue one, it's got a different logo on it, and it's bundled with a Gammamon dim. So it's sort of... It is and it isn't product placement. Like, the Vital Bracelet already existed before this anime, but now we have a new one. But it's compatible with all the dim cards from the first version.
Oh, that's good.
Also, in general...
Oh, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say I loved the opening. It was just so catchy.
I was here for it.
It was chaotic. It was
pretty wild.
I was here for it all the time, though, yeah.
A lot was going on.
It was. There was a lot to parse.
It went some places, and it seemed a lot longer than a typical opening, and I don't know if that was just my impression.
It's probably just because it's the first time you've seen it.
Yeah, that might be.
Yeah, I think it's because the first time and you're sort of taking everything in.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, fairly certain, like, the only opening, rather, for Digimon Adventure Colon. Like, I felt like, we might have even said on the podcast, wow, this felt like a long opening, but I think that's just because we were paying attention to it. And then as it sort of went on, it was sort of like, I guess, your mind wanders elsewhere and then it's over pretty quick.
Yeah, exactly. Once you know to expect, or once you know what to expect every beat, then it
That's
just
fair.
kind of, you're able to space out and then time goes by a lot faster.
Yeah, and I just loved, like, how creepy this opening was. Like, it's got some horror themes, and I'm very
really
much
does.
like, it's
I appreciate that they're, like,
feels-
committing to that aesthetic.
like this whole episode and like the opening as well just feels like it is
just
Digimon,
so
obviously,
much more
but
cohesive than Adventure Colon ever managed to be in 67 episodes.
yeah, and it looks different. Like when we watched Colon, I always felt like this is just Digimon. This is just the same sort of Digimon that we already know.
Very
We know
similar
what to
art style
expect.
to older seasons.
Yeah, this one looks like I
pretty
mean,
different.
I'm not gonna say it doesn't look like Digimon because it is still Digimon. It has Digimon in the title. It's like Appmon is Digimon, Digimon Tamers is Digimon. They're all Digimon. They are all Digimon shows.
But it's a new
But this
visual
one
style.
felt it felt new. It felt like it wasn't just every other season of Digimon. And I like that. It had sort of some unique feel to it, and that was my main takeaway from this episode and the opening and the ending. It's just, it feels very new. Like, I can't really say what I'm to expect about this show because it feels like it feels like new territory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. I'm also the
Also,
world's biggest
yep.
baby, but like the horror aspects of it actually kind of got me a little bit. Like, you know, gosh, the very first girl who went into the theater who forgot like her phone or pencil case or whatever and got I jumped a little bit when she turned around and the Clockmon was just right there.
It's very scary.
That's about
like,
the limit of horror that I can handle.
Yeah, it's a good level of horror. I feel like if it was any spookier, it would be probably too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
like,
I'm
this is a
impressed
good level
that
of spook.
Yeah, they're right in that line pretty well.
Yeah. It also had some Atmon feels of like, you know, these are Digimon that have sort of crossed into the human world.
Mm-hmm. I loved the carefully avoiding interfering with the police line hologram. That was very funny.
Oh, yeah.
I love the friend. I know he's just like a Kazu and Kenta, you know, shonen anime best friend who's kind of a little bit like
Ditzy.
a little bit useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the ditzy friend. I kind of love that.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Like, he's like I got sad when he was like he got super aged because I was like, oh no, we don't get to see him anymore.
Yeah, but I guess everybody's okay.
He had like chaotic himbo vibes.
Yes, yeah,
You're not
definitely
wrong.
a big himbo. I'm kind of like half like, I mean, I know that Atmon never really did this, but I'm kind of expecting him kind of to be like an end of series addition to the team.
Potentially.
But Atmon didn't really like, Atmon sort of did it, but also didn't with the rest of the cast that I thought that would be added to the team.
Yeah,
Eugene-
I'm still mad at I not joining the team.
Also, yes. But Eugene
Yeah.
didn't join the team until like more than halfway through the season, I felt like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. I'm excited to see what is up with bandaged hands man.
God, I love the Chuny kid. He's so...
I love him because he's all like, he gives me such like, he's got Joe energy.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
I can see
he's
that.
Joe with 8th grade syndrome, and I'm super here for it.
Like, he's so like, he's this talisman, but also look at all my talismans. I'm definitely not cursed.
So I'm wondering now if it's like, how much are we leaning into this whole ghost story cursed motif? Like, is there actually something under the bandages now? Now I gotta wonder.
I gotta assume that it's just bandages because he's extra.
Yeah, I think
know.
he's just extra.
So why are you wearing the bandages every day? Oh, you know, it's pretty much what you'd expect.
I'm just a moron.
God, I love it. I have high hopes for Didun. Was that? I didn't catch her name.
I know I think that's just on her online game, but Ruri is her.
Ruby. Okay.
Yeah, is her actual name, but I think that might be her like her online like her handle.
Yeah.
But
Either way,
yeah,
I'm super
I'm
here
excited
for
for
her. I'm sad
her.
she didn't have more screen time.
Yeah. This is looking to be a very queer season of Digimon, and that's good.
Yeah, I kind of like that we didn't go like, here is this character's name and here is this character's Digimon. Here is this character's name and here is this character's
yeah, very
Digimon,
much
because
so.
that is like, we're doing a Tamer's way of like showing the rest of the cast in the first episode, but not really like fully introducing them. Like the first episode of Tamers, you kind of are just shown, here is Decado, he likes Digimon, he's a nerd, he draws Digimon, he drew a Digimon, the Digimon's real now, end of episode. Like, it followed very much just like the Tamers and Atmon sort of...
dream thing that happened.
Yeah, well, the unexplained dream thing in this episode was just like, what is the Black Tailmon's deal? Like, is that the dad's Digimon?
I'm gonna go with probably, yeah.
Something to that effect.
Which is pretty cool. I hope it gets explained.
I want to know how Dad got reverse Terminatored out of the apartment.
Yeah, I don't know there. I just got as I said, I got Lane vibes.
It's pretty lame.
But I'm also not a big fan of Lane, so I'm also hoping that I'm not getting Lane vibes.
Well, that's just because you don't have good taste.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm the only person who like did not really enjoy Lane. I felt like I mean, there's a whole podcast about my issues.
Yeah.
Not really issues
and we
with
don't
Lane.
have to
There's just,
litigate that again. Anyway.
there's a lot going on. But in any case, no, the dad is very much just like, I don't know, he is Lane, I guess.
Valid.
Any other highlights?
I got high hopes.
Yeah, me too. But like, when I have high
Bandage
hopes,
Kid
I kind of
trends.
worry now.
No, wait,
Like-
which was Bandage Kid the one that had
Yeah.
the Splatoon girl for the Digimon? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's gonna be very good.
I thought that was best friend for a second.
Gotcha. No, I don't have
No,
everybody's names. I don't remember.
Yeah, me either.
I think it's Kiyoshiro. I think is Bandage
That sounds
Boy.
right.
Sure.
And Ruri has a giant Angora rabbit, which is very cool.
I'm looking
And
forward
from
to
my
it.
understanding, we're doing like opposite gender partners.
Yeah,
this
it's good
season.
shit. Well, except for
I
main
love that.
character.
Except for main
Hiro
character.
has a little brother, I guess.
Yeah, which is so cute. Like, Gammamon gives me, like, also, again, Atmon vibes. He reminds me of Gatchmon.
Oh yeah, he's
Oh.
extremely Gatchmon.
The design kind of reminded me of Tamer's Digimon who makes other Digimon evolve, whose
Oh,
name I never
Kulumon.
knew. Yeah.
Kalumon, yeah.
In fact, I thought that's what it was for a minute until I realized that it's a new. It is Gammamon is new, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all new except for Clockmon
Oh, Clockmon
in this
is a
episode,
new
I
one.
mean.
Okay.
Clockmon is very old.
I see.
Hasn't
like,
ever
maybe-
gone around serial killing people by rapid aging them though. That was pretty sick.
No,
I
that
wanna
was
know
definitely
the
surprising.
mechanics of how the ones and zeros flowing out of people aged them.
Yeah, I want to know more about the girl at the very beginning that we just sort of saw her future.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she like
That was-
we
that
had
was
like
dope.
flashes of her. Yeah, that was really cool
We
and
saw
also
her wedding dress,
horrifying.
and I felt like, oh, this poor woman. Ugh.
Yeah, she's fine. Everybody got better.
Yeah.
Also, it was apparently not an international news story that a bunch of people got rapidly aged and then got better.
Yeah, like they're all walking around saying, "Oh, it's just a rumor." I'm like, no, but kids are like, disappearing and also showing up as like super old people.
Yeah, there's even been 2 from the same school now.
Yeah. Like we're just gonna brush that under the rug.
We
All
just
right,
we
it's
just
fine.
ignoring that. That's fine. So I guess that's kind of a down,
Yeah.
but that's fine. We can, I guess, move into those.
Yeah. Oh, it's Digimon. I don't think I have any other other highlights. Rather, I have good vibes, but there's not
Yeah.
much I can
It was
say.
a good, solid first episode, but you know, so was the first episode of Adventure Colon.
Exactly.
I feel like this episode was better than the first episode of Adventure Colon.
I would agree with that.
I never saw the first
also-
episode of Adventure Colon, so I can't comment.
It was okay. Like it set up a lot of hopes for me. Like I really liked the first episode. I felt like it was a strong first episode of a series. But I feel like this series, I mean, maybe it's because Adventure Colon showed me characters I already knew, and this episode is showing me characters I don't know. But I feel like this episode did a better job of like, these
I
are the
think
characters.
Hiro is already a more developed character than Taichi ever manages to get to.
But we praised Taichi in the first episode. We were like, oh, Taichi this is such a good Taichi now.
Yeah, well, because
Did
like
they
he
get-
started
Hiro's
off
good.
fine. He just doesn't have to learn or grow or improve in any way. Just get bored a
Yeah.
few times.
Also,
Hey,
I
following
kept on...
Self-improvement, what is?
Yeah, well, what is that? In my notes, I kept on writing Hiro's name as Haru
Yep.
because
Yeah.
everything is Atmon.
The only thing we didn't get is the, are you a protagonist prompt or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, and so instead we've got, here's your little brother.
Yeah. Are you a protagonist versus are you a little brother?
There you go.
Are you a protagonist versus are you the big spoon?
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Any lowlights?
Just the minor plot hole stuff, like, how is this not a bigger deal that people are getting mega aged?
Yeah, I mean, that
But
didn't
nothing
bother me
super
too much
significant,
because
really.
I guess I just didn't really think of it. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't really
It's
have
just
any lowlights.
specifically while COVID is still a thing. Oh yeah, definitely. Nobody would care about this weird new phenomenon where children visually appear 80 years old and in comas. Yeah, probably
Well,
fine.
it is like,
I mean,
it
it
is
lit-
a few years in the future.
Yeah. And it didn't even occur
Fair.
to me until it occurred, until Quinn said it out loud, so maybe it's just because Quinn's a party pooper. Also, they have 7G.
They do have
Yeah,
7G.
because so it's like a few years into the future.
Yep. So, fun fact, 6G is going to let me communicate with nanobots. God, I love being a scientist and working in the future.
Hack the human body.
That's cool. Like, well, I want 7G because that means I get a Digimon.
That's fair, that's fair. Well, I gotta scale up. You start with single-celled organisms. One day, give me time.
Make an E. coli that evolves into Gammamon.
God,
No.
you gotta spoil it for people? Anyway,
Digimon was the end goal. It always was.
it's what the guy at the moon told me.
Carcinodigimonization.
I know we're meant to be talking about lowlights, but I just really love the whole, this is what Digimon are doing in the human world and they're impacting people's lives. And I love that, how it's different from what we saw in Young Hunters and Atmon, where it was more like Yokai Watch of just like, yeah, strange things are happening and we don't quite know. This is just straight up like, yeah, Digimon are showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And doing things. Like, it's not just like, oh, the Twitter app sure is glitchy today, huh?
Yeah.
That said, I hope we're not gonna keep doing the just nobody knows about Digimon except the main characters thing. I feel like we've played that out a lot. So I
feel
hope...
like already they're noticing the Digimon.
So
they're
definitely noticing the problem. I guess my worry is that we're just gonna do the Atmon thing of attributing it to just, you know, random app glitches and natural disasters. I think it'd be much more interesting if, you know, we actually have news stories about, you know, dealing with the Digimon problem. But we're definitely not going to do that, so...
I hope we do something that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, in general, I don't really have that many lowlights for this episode. I guess, like, it hasn't really introduced any problems for me yet.
It struck me as an interesting choice how, like, kind of aggressive they seemed to have Gammamon be.
Yeah, we're definitely
we're
doing something
like,
with potentially evil Gammamon, too, so...
Yeah.
I like the face he just kept on doing, like, when the phone rang and Clockmon almost showed up, like, he did, like, this, like... angry face.
Yeah.
And we had he's very emotive, is what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, he was bearing some fangs.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he's got, like, little wings.
Does it? I might not have even noticed.
We only see them in the opening, but they're like little
Gotcha.
bat wings. And it's just, it's so unexpected.
That is unexpected.
Yeah.
Are you doing all right there?
Yeah, I've just got the hiccups. I think it's the Digimon.
You're just so excited for good Digimon.
It's the Hiccupmon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Hiccupmon. But no, I guess that's my low light, that I now have hiccups and they hurt.
Check out Air at Digimon_Hiccup or something on TikTok.
That was really good. Yeah, who were our favourite characters? Because I really like Gammamon, but also I like Hero, but also I like the random himbo friend.
I think I gotta go with Chunibyo Bandage Man.
It's a solid choice.
I think his name is Kiyoshiro, but they haven't actually said it in the show yet.
Okay, well that would explain why I didn't pick up his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just
Quinn, who was your favourite?
dorm leader.
So it's really tempting to just copy Chloe, because, damn good character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shout out to Ruri, but she wasn't really in this episode, so I said Shuni Kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to give it to Ruri, but I couldn't in good conscience.
Yeah, look, I'm honestly tempted to go Kiyoshiro as well, just because, like,
He
I don't
kind
know,
of
he just
stole the
seems...
episode.
In a weird way.
Yeah, even though, like, I love Hero, and he seems pretty cool, and it's nice to see the quote-unquote Goggle Kid have, like, a brain. Like, he seems to be a Koshiro crossed with a Taichi sort of character, and I'm very much here for that, and Gammamon is just adorable, and I'm getting some big Gatchmon energy, but honestly, like, yeah, I just... Kiyoshiro, or whatever the bandage kid's name is just... I'm really excited to see more of him.
Yep.
He's just super likable. Like, just, like, he seems so serious and so smart and so, like, you'd expect him to be a jerk,
so
but then
extra.
instead of, like, turning around and being a jerk, he turns around and he's horrified by things. And I love him.
I'm very looking forward.
What was our rating for the episode?
I'm gonna go with a 4, because
yeah.
you know, you want to leave room for improvement.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say either 4.5 or 4. Probably more like a 4.
I think we're all gonna go... I think we're all just copying each other, because as soon as I was done watching, I'm like, yeah, this is a 4. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
That
I
was a
wanted
really
to
solid
do better.
episode.
Yeah, it was a solid initial showing.
Like, that's a good start for a show.
But
And
I'd
I'm
be a little
excited to watch
disappointed if they
more.
don't go up from here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I wouldn't want to give it less than a 4, but I just hope that, you know, in 5 episodes' time, we're like, wow, the first episode, yeah, it shouldn't be a 4. It should be more like a 3 because of how good the rest of the episodes are. Like, that's sort
Here's
of...
hoping. Actually, and
the
you know
goal.
what though? In retrospect, I'm gonna amend mine to a 4.5.
Fair enough.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna keep mine as a
Same.
4 because I'm just hopeful that we go up from there. And we just, like, I hope the next episode's a 4.5, and then the rest of them are all 5s. I don't know.
They can be all good.
But then...
Yeah, I definitely hope we don't have to do an adventure colon of just going back later and putting in a narrator. It did not improve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times in Colin we were like, this episode it can be a 4, but I feel like the rest of the episodes are going to start going up, so this one has to be amended.
Yeah, we're not doing that again.
No, hopefully not. As for ranking, this is the best episode, but also the worst episode.
I would say it's just the averagest episode.
Yeah, it's definitely the average. It's definitely. It almost feels like that. There's no other episodes that have come out so far.
Standard deviation of 0.
It's a strong start. Yeah, that works.
Very consistent.
But yeah,
data.
they're just very, very much no variables here. Do we have any miscellaneous thoughts? Because I'm just excited to see more of this show.
Yeah, same.
I mean, cautiously.
I hope that they kind of like explain some of the Vital Bracelet mechanics, because I know jack anything about them. And I would be bummed to have to learn that by osmosis rather than having it explained to me.
They've been pretty good about that historically. Plus, they are trying to sell a product, so I think they really, really want to.
I'm hoping so. I'm just kind of surprised they haven't really done much yet, but they've got plenty of time.
They do show like when we have just before Gammamon attacks, we have a picture from the Vital Bracelet, which is the vitals being full. It's like a little gauge, and this gauge increases or decreases depending on how much exercise that you do, but also how much exercise your Digimon likes to have done. Some Digimon are happy with you just sort of not doing much exercise, and others like need you to do lots of exercise. So that those vitals increase or decrease depending on the exercise level. And different evolutions need different vitals. Like you need maybe your vitals need to be more than 2,000 for this Digimon, or just over 1,000 for this one, or what have you. Like they need a varying amount depending on the evolution. So I'm wondering
I hope they don't
if that's
stay
how we get the
too close
evolutions.
to that.
Yeah, I feel like they probably won't.
I mean, it'll be hard to actually
Well,
show
I
it
just
in
meant
the
like
anime.
please abstract out like all of those mechanics. But
Yeah.
we will see.
I mean, I'm here for like changing evolution paths.
Yeah, I mean, and that could be interesting. It just definitely. Please don't bog me down in the weeds on
I don't
on
need
your
to
app.
know the character's step counts to know which one they get,
Yeah, no. Well, at least the step count doesn't really do much for the Vital Bracelet. It's just the vitals. Like,
Dang
you
it,
could
and I was
have low
joking.
step counts. It does log your step count, but it doesn't really do much. I mean, you sync it with the app, and it shows you like how many steps you've done. But yeah, I'm wondering how much the Vital Bracelet will tie in at all. If it's just the same sort of level as here's the Vital Bracelet, here's the Digivice product placement thing, and here's the anime. They are similar. They have the same Digimon, but the mechanics are just sort of don't really match up. Like I wonder how much it ties into the show.
We'll see. I feel like with the product coming first, it's definitely driving some of this, but
Yeah.
the products don't even matter.
At the end of the day, people
Yeah,
just
I mean,
want to
I
engage
just think
with the
it's-
Vital Bracelet.
I like the Vital Bracelet though.
Told you.
I like it. I mean, I already liked it before the show, but I like how. I mean, surely the Vital Bracelet must be selling well in order for them to, put it in the. I mean, it was sort of in Digimon Adventure : with the dim card.
Oh, right. It did just randomly show up as product placement. I forgot that.
Yeah.
It did? Really? Wow.
It just showed up in one random episode and, like, provided a map on a dim.
Yeah, it was the
It
Agumon
was so
dim.
stupid.
Wow.
That like did not do anything to do with what the Vital Bracelets do, so that was sort of just like
It
a
just
weird.
was straight up, hey
a weird
kids,
thing.
buy the toy.
Yeah, and that episode came out like just after the dim card came out, pretty much, like the actual VB. So I feel like that's more of a tie-in because I feel like it had only been out for like less than a month at that point.
Oh, yeah, no, it was pretty gratuitous. A map that
Yeah.
could very easily have just popped out of the Digivice like they always do. No.
Yeah, can't have that.
Alright, so it's time for our pondering, PostModPats, and predictions. So first up for PostModPats, we have on YouTube Snide, who says that he's glad that Colin is over with. He will miss the opening because it really did grow on him in the past year. Holly's Wacky World likes how I said that's where the Colin goes at the end. And I'm glad that that joke was appreciated.
You know, we waited over a year to make a poop joke.
Yeah, we did pretty well not bringing up poop jokes.
Well done, y'all.
We waited till the end. Next, we have TGS, who says 4 out of 5, and it bumps last week's to a 3. They love the Omegamon battle and only wish they could have seen more of Alteress. The mode changes while attacking is one of the favourite Digimon moments. They also enjoyed the ending with the kids and the Digimon. They do think Taichi was in the digital world at the end, but they took as the gate was able to be opened and them going there on another adventure. As for the season, 3 out of 5. It has some of the best ideas and concepts for Digimon, but mixed execution, with the good stuff was good while the bad stuff was bad. But most of all, the show ended being real nostalgic and comfort show during the last year and a half for them and gave them something to look forward to for the weekend and got them back into the fandom. They can't wait to check out Ghost Game, as they said the adventure continues to a new world. Hope they fully keep the magical girl transformations, as all Digimon are really magical girls. Also, Leomon lives, 5 out of 5. That's like, I think that, the show at the end was something to look forward to every week.
Yeah.
Even at, its low points, it was like, well, at least there's Digimon and it could be not terrible. And I do like that Taichi is probably still in the digital world. That was cute.
Agreed.
Next up, we have Little Red Riding Hood, who says, this series has certainly been a thing that happened. It wasn't all bad. There were a handful of episodes that were really good on their own. Some very good animation in some episodes. The music's incredible, and despite the mixed feeling of the series, they still find themselves getting pumped up when they hear it. And the rebooted character designs are actually pretty good overall. They adore Mimi and Kari's new looks a lot, and despite the lack of character arcs, a few characters stand out to them as being actually very enjoyable. Mimi and Joe being the standouts to them personally. And I feel like the writers just really liked Mimi and Joe with how much, attention that they got.
Yeah.
Which
Joe
is
just
good.
randomly had superpowers that we never addressed again.
Yeah, I wish we addressed that. They continue to say, as well as the great use of Digimon themselves, we got a ton of old and new faces on screen, which is blast to see. But then the series has a lot of bad to it, drags on way too long, doesn't have a clear overarching story, lacks any character agency, growth or arcs, and has some really bad episodes, some lazy animation at times, and some of the characters barely feel like characters at all. As well as very personality-less villains, and overall the series feels quite aimless. Yeah, I missed the fact that a lot of Digimon villains do have personalities. But I did at least like they explained the Devimon.
Exclusively non-verbal villains was not a good choice.
Yeah, and when they were verbal, it was like
Kill,
Devimon.
destroy.
Like Devimon turned out to be Patamon, Dark Knightmon turned out to be Tailmon, and then Algomon turned out to just have a booty.
Yeah.
And they finished up to say that it was overall mediocre, and it relied too much on copying stuff that's already come before, especially our war game, but it had a few good parts to it, not enough to sell the series as a whole, but enough that there is some enjoyment to be had in it. And I would agree to that, I did enjoy, bits of it. Next, we have Connor, who says they're honestly just happy that this is finally over with, because it was a slog to get through. If they weren't already a Digimon fan, they couldn't have seen themselves watching this all the way through, which is a shame. That was the part of the reboot was to bring in new fans, because in their opinion, it failed to do so.
Yeah.
And I know what they say, that they mean there, I feel like I probably wouldn't have watched it if I didn't, 1, already like Digimon, and 2, have a Digimon podcast.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine myself if I just, randomly found this on Crunchyroll or whatever, and I can't imagine that I would have stayed with it past about 20 episodes.
Yeah.
Around about episode 18, I'd have probably bailed.
Next, we have Seth, who says that they actually thought the Ultra moment was cool, and they should have led with that. And the moment that they didn't remind them Evangelion, it did not remind them of Evangelion, but Sailor Moon.
Okay.
And I also, I get that. They say it was very original anime, Sailor Moon stars. When Usagi becomes Eternal Sailor Moon, all the symbols fly into her brooch, and reminded them that. And I haven't seen Stars because I only watched the first season. I feel like it got too hard to watch in Australia. I don't think it aired anymore after the first chunk.
It's been a
or at least it
long time
changed
since I've watched any Sailor Moon, but that does ring a bell.
Yep, same.
Yeah. Next, we have Mystic Digital, who says that the episode itself was a 3 or a 3.5 out of 5. The ending montage was actually sweet and appreciated, and Fascomon appeared, which is a little koala baby Digimon. So that's a bonus point for them. The fight was well animated, to be fair, and they love Negamon's anti-Omegamon design. The season overall gets a 1 out of 5 for them, as easily the worst in their opinion in terms of writing, characters, and everything that matters to them most in the franchise. The music was good, but that's a standard for the series, so it doesn't really put it above any other season. The only big plus that they can give it is it finally showing obscure and forgotten about Digimon. And yeah, I totally agree with that. It did a good job doing that.
Yeah.
They say that they love revisiting the other seasons and have done so numerous times for most, except for Cross Wars and Atmon, which they want to rewatch, but they doubt they'll ever bother watching all of Colin again. Maybe a few episodes they liked, if that even. And yeah, I get what they mean. Like, I'm not rushing to see Colin. Maybe a few episodes. Like, I liked the Togemon episode. I liked the Lilymon episode. There were a few episodes that I did enjoy. But yeah, not really rushing to watch that.
Same.
Next, we have that guy who says that the episode itself was fun and good as a finale, and probably as good as it could get, but it's definitely one of their least favourite. They were going to rank it lower than their other least favourite, which was Frontier, but when they thought about it, while both series grate on their nerves, Frontier does so much more, and Colin at least has the benefit of looking nice and having better music. They
Colin
really
doesn't
don't like
lose
having
the
to put...
same fight 10 times in a row, so...
Yes, and that too. Yeah, Colin has a lot less that I dislike about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Frontier is my least favourite.
I'm glad I haven't watched
And, yeah, you're not missing much. I mean, there are people who do love Frontier, but it's just, I have a lot of issues with it.
Yeah,
valid.
it's
People
not
love the way I
lacking
put
in
that way.
redeeming qualities, but
Yeah.
wow, there were some bad choices.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy continues to say they really don't like having to put so much hope and expectations on the upcoming Ghost game, but please, they just need some characters to have actual characters, because that's what they got into Digimon for. And also seeing the monsters beat up each other, but they need both. They say at least Mimi was fun. As far as they're concerned, she definitely earned that statue. And yeah, I totally agree.
Good news. We're off to a
Next
good start as far as characters having actual character goes.
Yeah, but we thought that, Quinn and I at least thought that about Ghost Game, that Taichi seemed to have a character.
Yeah, but Taichi had the beginnings of a character that could have gone somewhere, and then we lost all of that the moment he forgot he
Yeah.
had a mom. Which he apparently
Yeah,
literally forgot because he abandoned her.
Yeah, it didn't even show, the mum didn't even show up
No,
again in
no
the
one's
montage.
parents did.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
Hey,
No
by
one
the
has
way-
parents. That.
And then the kids lived happily ever after as full-blown adults on their own.
Yeah, that's the impression I got. That the parents just
impression
don't exist
that I
anymore.
get.
Anyway, I'm hoping that the character maintains and doesn't just kind of stagnate like it did in Adventure Colon.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
I definitely
Next,
hope
we
that
have-
this series manages to, have a theme, and so far...
So far it does.
yeah.
So far the theme is spooky, and it spooked me.
Keep being spooky.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely spooky. It's sufficiently spooky. Next, we have Captain Bad Apple, who says the season was indeed the worst of all the Digimon franchise, with adventure try, incoherence and inconsistencies every time in the narrative, false tension all the time, and the evolutions were hollow. The only good thing the reboot has is that it made people remember and appreciate Digimon Adventure 1999, and it also had the ultimate level thing being kind of a legend. Next, we have Half Draggy, who says that this was honestly one of their favourite episodes. I hope Ghost Game is better than Adventure Colon for the entire series. I'd say that the Colon was a 3.5, and it's above Cross Wars and Frontier for them, but under Data Squad. And yet that's a
That makes
fair
sense.
rating. So yeah, I mean, I'm really also looking forward to Ghost Game continuing. It's off to a fairly strong start, so I'm fairly positive about it. I hope I don't get my heart broken again.
Yep, I'm very hopeful that we're not getting, as I think someone put it on the Discord server earlier today, 4-episode clickbaited
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
to that effect.
Yeah. The first 4 episodes of Adventure really do make you think they had some idea of a story written. And,
I mean, Colin could have just been fine if just that first chunk of episodes was just a standalone thing, where it was just Algamon appears, Taichi has some friends, and they just attack the Algamon
Colin
and
would be a
win.
lot better if you went straight from Devimon into Devimon is actually Angemon, and then into get me to care about the big bad, as opposed to just have Millennium Mon show up and be very unimportant at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, yeah, that happens. The next episode of Ghost Game is called "The Mystery of the Museum." What are our predictions for this episode?
Remind me, did Clockmon did not get beaten? He just kind of was like,
He fled.
You'll see me next time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fled.
Okay, so I'm assuming we'll get some sort of resolution that is to Clockmon next episode, presumably.
Ben Stiller will make a cameo.
It is a bit Night of the Museum-ish in the preview.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Mummymon shows up.
I mean, sure looked like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is great, because I don't think we've really seen Mummymon since 02.
Oh, God, please be a massive ham again.
Oh my.
Yeah. What if it's just Kiyoshira is Mummymon?
Please. That's what...
Holy
that is
shit.
what you were supposed to assume from the bandages. I'm a mummy, obviously.
Yeah. Duh.
Unless that's like a
Quarter
tie-in that
mummy
like
on my
everything
mom's side.
Mummymon...
My mom said
I get it.
Right. Care if it was his right
But,
or left
yeah,
hand now.
It was a
but-
good joke either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still just too hopeful for this show. I'm worried that I'm like
Yeah.
going to get my hopes up again.
I mean, welcome to you and Digimon.
Yeah. Ghost Game looks good though.
It does.
I'm super here for it
So
so
far,
far.
it hasn't disappointed.
It's at least so far the transist season of Digimon, so keep that shit up.
Thanks everyone for listening, and you can find the link dumps in the description, and so is our Redbubble. You can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment on this episode or message us on our website, or you can leave a comment on this episode on YouTube. You can follow us at Translationmon on Twitter, and you can follow us on LostinTranslationmon on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube. I'm Digimon_Hero on TikTok. Hero spelt like the main character in this show. Yay! And you can also chat with us on the Lost in Translationmon Discord server. We would appreciate if you would review us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and any other podcast catcher that you use, as we hear that ratings assist people finding out about the podcast. And if I see it, I'll read it out. And if I don't, let me know, and then I'll read it out. You donate to us on Patreon, and that's things from that was not even a word. I was doing so well too. You can donate to us. My sinuses are really sore. I apologize. I cannot do words, and I'm
killing
sorry if I sound weird as well.
Nah.
My sinuses are bad. Anyway, you can donate to us on Patreon, which is linked in the description from as little as $1 a month, and that gets you access to our Patreon-only areas of the Discord server. But there are high levels rewards such as unedited episodes and early episodes and more. And thank you to our current supporters on Patreon: Joe, Stephen Reeves, who is Wildly64 on Archive Our Own, Kadawashi, Chisai, who can follow on Twitter at Chisai236, Neobu, who says you should follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236, Carl, Lismet, who is Electmon on Tumblr, Nicholas, Sam, Emery from Gone Will Hunting, a Hunter Hunter Rewatch podcast, Magnus, Lucas, JasonMon05, Patrick, Jason, Great Tanuki, and Jay David. You can also make a one-off donation on PayPal, which can be found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/Airdramon. You can also donate to me on my Coffee account, ko-fi.com/Airdra. Thank you so much for listening, and I apologise for my sinuses being ouchy. And thank you to my wonderful, lovely co-host for joining me today. Quinn, can we find you anywhere?
Nope.
Nope. And Chloe, can we find you anywhere?
I'm on the Discord every now and again.
Yeah, we chill on Discord if
That's
you want
true.
to chill
Yeah,
and
you
chat
can talk
about
to me on Discord.
and talk about Ghost Game, because I'm hopeful. This show makes me hopeful, and that is
Or talk to me about
probably
nanobots.
the best it can do. Or nanobots. You can talk to us about nanobots or ghost. I almost said Ghost Digimon. You can talk to us about Ghost Digimon. It is the spooky season, but also Ghost
Sure.
Game,
Talk to me about ghost gender.
Ghost Gender. You can talk to us about anything you want, as long as it's nice.
Oh, one last thing. We gotta plug Ghost Gaze.
But yeah, Emery has a new Digimon Ghost Game podcast called Ghost Gaze, and I will be, I guess, tweeting that, but of course you'll be able to hear all about it in the Lost in Translationmon Discord server, so you can join that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like a lot of fun.
But yes, so thanks for reminding me on that, and now we can finish. Thank you all for joining me, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
For real this time.